If you're interested in hearing who I believe the original stereotypical Barbie is, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and stick around for part 2 coming in a few days. The plot of the Barbie movie is about how Barbie is being turned into a human. She gets flat, human feet, cellulite, and thoughts of dread.
You guys ever think about dying?
But I don't think she is the first Barbie this has happened to. I think ÜëIRd Barbie was turned into a human 20 years ago before she was.
My Barbie doll is really real.
When stereotypical Barbie starts having human emotions and characteristics, the rest of the Barbies advise her to go visit ÜëIRd Barbie, because what's happening to stereotypical Barbie is described as weird by the other Barbies. When she gets to ÜëIRd ÜëIRd Barbie tells her this.
You have to go to the real world, and you have to find the girl who's playing with you. For you see, if you do not find her and fix things, what's ugly will become uglier, and what's weird will become weirder. And then you look like me.
ÜëIRd Barbie is said to be the embodiment of all the Barbies that have been played with too hard. But think about it. I'm sure there are a lot of Barbies that have been fucked with over the years, but they don't all have Barbie Land counterparts. Where are all the Barbies that had their feet chewed off by dogs and the tribute Barbies? I think ÜëIRd Barbie used to be the original stereotypical Barbie, aka teen fashion Barbie, aka the Barbie from the beginning of the movie. And the reason there are two stereotypical Barbies in Barbie Land is because ÜëIRd Barbie was also turned into a human, so a second one had to come into existence to fill that void. Kind of like how there are two end zones in the show Reboot, because when they did the system reboot, the mainframe didn't recognize the original end zone because he had his icons set to game sprite and not to standard mode. I can't be much clearer than that.
I'm like you now, ugly and unwanted.
Thanks.
The original Barbie was described as a teen fashion model, and stereotypical Barbie is very clearly not a teen. Margot Robbie is 34 years old, and in our world, Barbie is 19 years old. And theoretically, if ÜëIRd Barbie, who was 19 in the early 2000s, then aged 20 years, she'd be 40 years old today, only 2 years younger than Kate McKinnon's age is now. ÜëIRd Barbie also has a lot of similarities with humans that the other Barbies don't. When all the Kens mind control all the Barbies, only her and stereotypical Barbie aren't under their control. This isn't explained. The two human females in Barbie Land, Gloria and her daughter, don't seem to be affected either. This could be because all four of them are human women. ÜëIRd Barbie also makes this comment.
That Ken of yours, he is one nice looking little protein pot. I'd like to see what kind of nude blob he's packing under those jeans.
Which is weird since Barbies don't know what sexuality is.
I thought I might stay over tonight.
To do what?
I'm actually not sure.
And I think the reason she is so interested in stereotypical Barbie's Ken is because she was the original Barbie, and that was originally her Ken. Which could also explain why stereotypical Barbie doesn't want to date Beach Ken. That's not her Ken.
I don't want you here.
But what is the point of all this? Why are Barbies being turned into humans? And by who? I think Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie, is trying to put her soul inside the Barbies.
Barbie's small and so petite. Her clothes and figure look so neat. Her dancing outfit rings the bell.
To create a timeline for Ruth Handler, she became co-owner of Mattel and the creator of Barbie around 1956. She named the character after her daughter. Then in 1970, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. It is said she walked away from being CEO of Mattel to focus on her personal health. During this time away, she also created the Nearly Me, an artificial breast for breast cancer survivors. But what if, within the narrative of the movie, that perhaps the brush with death and with the wearing and creating of the Nearly Me, Ruth realized that when the human body breaks down, it can be replaced with plastic. Ruth, being a Jewish immigrant, used old Jewish spells to create golems, along with tulpa magic. That's what the fucking walking, talking Barbies are in Barbie Land. Barbie made a comment.
Maybe I'm not Barbie anymore.
But who is she now then? I have one of two theories. She's either turning into Ruth, and that's why at the end of the movie, Ruth is holding Barbie's hands because she's transferring her life essence into Barbie. And at the end of the movie, she makes a bunch of cryptic comments towards Barbie that back this up.
Can't in good conscience let you take this leap without you knowing what it means.
A lot of the stuff Ruth says to Barbie doesn't even make sense. Like, why would an immortal ghost talk about how hard it is to become human?
Being a human can be pretty uncomfortable.
And how the worst part of becoming a human is that you die.
And then you die.
Like, how is dying bad within this universe if humans get to turn into ghosts? She's not talking about how turning into a human will end with Barbie growing old and dying. She's talking about how when Barbie is done turning into a human, a different soul will go in her and Barbie's soul will cease to exist. Another possibility is Barbie is turning into Barb Handler, Ruth's daughter. I mean, Ruth's soul is already trapped inside the Mattel building. Some evidence is backing this up is like when Ruth says,
I can't control you any more than I could control my own daughter.
I think this is referring to how they are becoming the same person. And if she is turning into Barb Handler, that could also explain what all these images were in the void. The images are Barb's memories going into Barbie. That's why the images look like videos from the 1960s to 90s. It's her memories. This also explains why at the beginning of the film, Barbie wakes up thinking about death, a topic that would be on the mind of any woman in her 80s. The movie even ends with Barbie going to a doctor and saying her name is Barb Handler. But the fictional character Barbie's name is Barbie Roberts, not Handler.
Purses, hats, and gloves galore, and all the gadgets gals adore.
In the Barbie movie, every product made by Mattel under the Barbie umbrella, made in the real world, has a real living counterpart in Barbie Land. And these counterparts are life-size, more realistic versions of the toy counterparts. So let's say 10,000 Barbie dolls are made. Only one life-size counterpart will appear in Barbie Land, not 10,000. The first instance of a living Barbie product in the Barbie movie is at the beginning when a giant Barbie dressed as the first Barbie appears in a desert believed to be Barbie Land before the rest of the products show up. If each Barbie in Barbie Land represents one product and 86 million Barbies are sold each year, Barbie has also been around for over 50 years. I'm sure someone sad has played with her at this point. Apparently, Mattel employees can change the brain chemistry of Barbies in Barbie Land too. This is shown when Mattel's secretary Gloria was drawing ordinary Barbie concepts in her notebook at work, and the characteristics she gave to those drawings affected stereotypical Barbie. Not only do the things that happen in the real world affect Barbie Land, but it works both ways.
Like a bisexual.
When Ken turns Barbie's dream house into Ken's Mojo Dojo, it affects the real world product, Barbie's dream house. And when Barbie gets sad on her own accord, there is a commercial for it with kid actors and everything. The only exception to this is when humans enter Barbie Land. A toy counterpart isn't made of a human in their clothes, shown with Gloria and her daughter and the Mattel employees entering Barbie Land. The movie Barbie is like the movie Game or Old Boy, where everyone in it is playing a part in an elaborate game of cat and mouse laid out by Ruth Handler to make sure everything goes to plan for her daughter's soul to be put inside Barbie. Like the cops that kept harassing Barbie and Ken. They fingerprinted them and then let them go, even though they committed multiple crimes. And the old lady on the bench across from Mattel, I think that was Ruth's daughter Barb, eyeing her soon-to-be body. First off, as the soul is slowly being put into Barbie, she notices the change. She panics and tells the other Barbies, and that leads her to Weird Barbie. Weird Barbie tells her that a human is playing with her in the real world, and if the human is sad, then she is sad. But that doesn't even make any sense. Why would someone playing with 1/1,000,000th of your soul affect you this much? And isn't it a little too convenient that the person that is playing with her is an adult Mattel employee who just happens to be playing with the Barbie at home by herself? Her daughter doesn't even buy her story.
And I found those Barbies we used to play with. I thought we gave those away.
In fact, I think her daughter Sasha and her friends were all brat dolls brought to life. The reason Weird Barbie knows exactly what's happening to stereotypical Barbie is because it happened to her first when Ruth died in 2002. But Weird Barbie didn't go on the adventure. That's why Ruth's soul didn't go inside her and instead is now trapped inside the Mattel building. When we see a flashback of a kid playing too hard with a Barbie, making it into a Weird Barbie, there is Spice Girl music playing in the background. And Spice Girls were at their peak with young girls between 1996 and the 2000s. So it lines up with Ruth's death. Weird Barbie is hoping that once the new stereotypical Barbie is gone from Barbie Land, she can go back to being stereotypical Barbie. Or maybe this could explain why there is now a Weird Barbie doll. It's not a movie tie-in product. Now that she helped Barbie lead into the real world, she gets to be a doll again. Weird Barbie gives her a choice to make her feel like she has free will, which she doesn't. Äës Barbie is a stereotypical Barbie that was turned into a human when Ruth tried to put her soul into her, but it didn't work, so she tried again either for herself or her daughter Barb. And now that Barbie has been sacrificed, Äës Barbie has been turned back into a doll again. So in conclusion, I've concluded. Make sure to like and subscribe so I can quit my fucking job and do this full time. Thank you.
Someday I'm gonna be exactly like you. Till then I know just what I'll do. Barbie, beautiful Barbie, I'll make believe that I am you.
You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.